In this video, we are going to show you how to solve equations with more than one variable. To solve those kinds of equations, it means that you have to isolate the indicated variable. So you have to get the variable that you're solving for all by itself on one side of the equal sign. Here we're solving for so we have to get this all by itself on one side of the equal sign. Okay, and then we have a procedure of how to do it. We're going to go through it step by step. Okay, so let's take a look at the procedure. Step one is to eliminate fractions or removing parentheses if needed. Equations, we have no fraction and we have no parentheses. So step one is done. Step two is to combine like terms. We also have no like terms. So this is done. Step three is to isolate the indicated variable. So we have to isolate this variable right here. Okay, we have to get the all by itself. So that means we have to get rid of the plus b and the multiply by x. So we're going to use these step 4 and 5 to do that. Okay, so step 4 is to use the addition or subtraction properties to move any constant or variables to the other side. So we're going to keep the on the right side, so we have to move this to the other side. So how do we get rid of that? Well, to get rid of that, you do the opposite. So to get rid of this positive b, we're going to minus b. So if you minus b over here, you have to minus b to this side. Okay, so here we have y take away b is mx. So we're going to bring down the mx. And then here, positive b with negative b is gone. Okay, so that's step 4. Now step 5 is to use the multiplication or division property to eliminate the coefficient. So the coefficient of is x. So the x is the coefficient. So we have multiplication. So to get rid of it, we would do the opposite, and that is to divide. So we divide this by x. We have to divide the y by x, and we have to divide the b by x. Okay, so you have y over x take away b over x, and then on the other side you're just gonna have because the x over x divide into 1, so 1 is the same as okay, so this is what is. Okay, so we can rewrite that into one fraction, so it'll be y minus b. You can do it because you have the same denominator, and that whole thing over x. So that's what is. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Here we're solving for w. So we have to get the w all by itself on one side of the equal sign. Okay, we have a procedure. We have a procedure of how to do it. So step 1 is to eliminate fractions or parentheses. So we have no fractions, we have no parentheses. So step 1 is not needed. Step 2 is to combine like terms. If you look, we have no like terms. They're all different terms. So step 2 is not needed. Now step 3 is to isolate the indicated variable. So we're solving for w. So that means we have to get the w all by itself. So we have to isolate this variable right here, w. Okay, so what that means is we have to get rid of the 2l, and we also have to get rid of the times 2. Okay, and then we're going to use step 4 and then step 5 to do that. All right, so step 4 is to use the addition or subtraction property to move the constant or variables to the other side. So we have to get rid of this 2l. We want it to completely go away. So how do we do that? Well, we do the opposite. So to get rid of positive 2L, we minus 2L. Okay, you minus 2L to that side, you get a minus 2L to this side. Okay, and then here you have P minus 2L is 2L, take away 2L is gone. Okay, so we eliminate those, and then we're going to bring down the 2W. Okay, so that's step number 4. Step 5 is to use the multiplication or division property to eliminate the coefficient. So coefficient of W is 2, so we have times 2W. So to get rid of the 2, we have to use the division property of equality to cancel the 2. So we divide this by 2, we got to divide this by 2, and then we got to divide this by 2. Okay, so 2 over 2 is cancel. So you have W is, and then we're going to bring that onto this side. So it'll be P over 2. Okay, so the P over 2 is right here. And then minus 2L over 2. Okay, and then we can rewrite that as one fraction. So it'll be P minus 2L, and that whole thing over 2. Okay, we can do All right, let's take a look at one more. Okay, we're solving for y here, so we got to get the y by itself. So that's the indicated variable that we're solving for. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve for y. So first thing we have to do is eliminate fractions or parentheses if needed. So we have a fraction here that we have to eliminate, and we also have parentheses that we have to eliminate. So there's a lot to do here. Okay, so to eliminate fraction, you need to... So to eliminate fraction, first thing you need to do is find the LCD of your denominators. So you have a 4 and a 2. So your LCD is going to be 4, because 2 can go into 4. So LCD is going to be 4. Okay, so we're going to multiply the left side by 4, and then we're going to multiply the right side by 4. So here we have 4 times 3 over 4, and then that times 2x plus y. And then on the other side, we have 1/2, and then we're going to multiply that by 4. Okay, so here 4 goes into 4 one time, so you're left with 1 here, and then 1 times 3 is still going to give you 3. So you have 3 times 2x plus y. And then on the other side, half of 4 is 2. All right, so we're able to get rid of the fraction. And now we have to get rid of the parenthesis. So that is to apply the distributive property. So we're going to distribute the 3. So 3 times 2x. And then 3 times y. So 3 times 2x is 6x. And then 3 times y is 3y. And then is 2. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to combine like terms. So we have no like terms. So you have the x term and the y term. And then on the other side, you have just the constant. So step 2 is not needed. Okay, and then step 3, we have to isolate the indicated variable. So we're solving for y. So we have to get the y by itself. So we have to use step 4 and step 5 to get rid of everything so we can get the y by itself. So first thing we have to do is use the subtraction property to get rid of 6x. We minus 6x. And then if we minus 6x to the left, we get a minus 6x to the right. So this is gone. Positive 6x and negative 6x is 0. So you're left with 3y. And then here you have negative 6x plus 2. Or you can write 2 minus 6x. It's the same thing. So the last thing we have to do is get rid of the coefficient. So this is a multiply by 3. So to get rid of it, you divide by 3. So you divide this by 3. And then you divide this by 3. So 3 over 3 is 1. So you're left with y. And then 3 goes into negative 6 is negative 2x. And then here, 3 cannot go into 2, so we just keep it the same. Okay? Okay, so y is negative 2x plus 2/3. Alright, let's take a look at another one. This is the last one. And here we're solving for x. And we have no fractions, but we have parentheses. So step 1 is to get rid of the parentheses. So we're going to distribute the 4. So 4 times 2x and then 4 times 3b. So that will be ax minus 12b. And then on the other side, you have 7x plus 5b. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is to simplify. Okay, we cannot simplify yet because you have x on this side and then x on this side, and then you have b on different sides. So you have to get it on the same side. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the 7x to this side. So I'm going to minus 7x to get rid of the positive 7x. So I'm going to minus 7x and then minus 7x here. Okay, then here you have x, 1x minus 12b equals to, well, this is gone. 7x with negative 7x is 0, and then you have 5b. You got to bring that down. Okay, so we're solving for x, so we got to get the x by itself. So that means we have to isolate this variable. So we're going to use the addition property of equality to get rid of the negative 12b. So how do you get rid of that negative 12b? Well, we have to add 12b. We do the opposite. So plus 12b, and then here you have plus 12b. Okay, and then x comes down, and then negative 12b with positive 12b is 0. And then bring down the equal sign, and then here you have 17, because 5 plus 12 is 17b. Okay, so that's step 4. Step 5 is to use multiplication or division property to eliminate the coefficient. Now your coefficient is 1, but we all know that 1x is the same as x, so there's nothing to get rid of it. So x is 17b, and then you're done. So that's what x is. Okay, we solve for x.